Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Frankfort is dealing with an historic flood as folks try to wait out the water. And a radio station continues an early fundraiser for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital to keep kids in need keep a smile.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning and a happy Monday to you, Mountain family. My name is Amelia Lee, here with you on this April 7th, and the time is now 5 o'clock this morning, which means it is time to check on in with meteorologist Megan Dusmall today. And I know, Megan, we've had some severe weather over the weekend as well as into our week last week, but what are we looking at for this week?
Well, the good news is we had that cold front swinging behind that last round, and now we're looking a lot calmer this week, although colder. We'll start off looking at those temperatures this morning as you are heading out the door, mainly sitting in the 30s and 40s as you're traveling into eastern Kentucky. But as you go into our Virginia counties as well as our Tennessee counties, you'll be looking at the 40s and 50s. By the time we head into the afternoon, we will see a little warm up, mainly sitting in the mid to upper 50s with lower 50s for Hazard as well as Wise, Clintwood, and Grundy and Logan. This morning, one thing we're mainly focusing on is the fog in the area. Patchy fog across eastern Kentucky, so make sure you're driving slow this morning. And here's a look at that live pinpoint Doppler radar as we're tracking some chances of rain this morning. We'll see slight chance of rain throughout the day, tapering off as you're heading into your Tuesday. Amelia.
Over the weekend, parts of Kentucky experienced flooding, especially the Kentucky River. In Frankfort, officials took preventative measures to ensure the safety of its community, enacting an overnight curfew to help limit traffic on those roadways. Jessica Umbro has the latest.
People know what to expect at certain water levels. Now, in this case, it's different because it is such a high water mark.
Frankfort Mayor Lane Wilkerson says the #1 priority is keeping people safe, as well as keeping as much property as possible from getting damaged. He says crews feel prepared for the possible 49.5-foot river crest, a record breaker that is expected to hit around 8 Monday morning.
We feel confident based on where the forecast is going. We feel like that we can handle this and that we're prepared for any of the contingencies.
But the sight of the Kentucky River hitting so high did draw curiosity from people who live in Frankfort. The people I spoke with say they stopped to grab a few pictures before listening to the advice to evacuate, some having not been residents when the current river crest record was set in 1978.
I've heard tales about 1978. I wasn't here then. And my heart just goes out to all of the people that aren't able to leave and whose homes are more than likely going to be destroyed.
Well, it's kind of emotional because I didn't think it was going to get this worse until I went outside and seen the water in my front yard. You know, so I was going to stay, but then they said you can't stay, you have to go ahead and move, and I'm glad I did.
Franklin County Judge Executive Michael Mueller says they appreciate all the offers for helping hands, but for now, they need to ride out the worst of things before they can start the true response.
We're just asking people to stop. Let's slow down a little bit. We need the storm to get to a good point because we do not need people out traveling right now.
2 flooding-related deaths are reported in Kentucky. Police say 9-year-old Gabriel Andrews was swept away by floodwaters Friday morning while walking to his school bus stop in the Hickory Hills area of Frankfort. Crews responded quickly and began an extensive search. Gabriel was found about half a mile away 2 hours after the initial 911 call. He was pronounced dead shortly after. Nelson County officials confirmed the second death as a result of the flooding. The sheriff's office says a 74-year-old was found dead inside of a car that was fully submerged in floodwaters. It happened in the 2800 block of Nelsonville Road. The driver's name has not yet been released. The Floyd County Animal Shelter was flooded Friday because of drain issues. Workers say there were at least 2 inches of water inside the dog kennels. No animals were hurt. Even though the water has receded, workers say they are taking animals to a different location as a precaution. In Louisville, the Metro Sewer District activated several flood walls. At least 5 along the Ohio River were up on Friday. Projections show the river could crest today. These closings help keep the Ohio River at bay and prevents river water from overrunning roads and properties. Storm damage and flooding was also reported in Wayne, Logan, and Mingo counties in West Virginia. High water covered roads and threatened homes. Schools were closed on Friday. With this severe weather impacting our area, Kinetic officials say copper thefts are on the rise. Since April 1st, Manchester and Barberville have seen a 1,600% spike, with 17 thefts involving more than 16,000 feet of copper cable. Officials say this threatens emergency services. Kinetic is working with law enforcement and offering a $10,000 reward for information leading to an arrest. FEMA has now approved more than $30 million in housing and other types of assistance to more than 5,000 Kentucky households after the February flooding. The deadline to apply is April 25th. There are 16 disaster recovery centers, but they are closed until Monday due to severe weather. A Paintsville radio station raised money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, continuing an annual tradition that has helped raise money for children in need. Friday was the final day of the 20th annual Country Cares for St. Jude Kids Radiothon. General Manager Spike Berkheimer says the radio station was once wary of starting the partnership, but has seen folks from all around getting involved, with some of the donors having experienced the resources of St. Jude firsthand, including a young man whose family donates every year.
And he lives today because of his ability to go to St. Jude, and they took care of him. Well, he and his parents every year bring us $1,000 check, and they say we want to pay it back. So it's sort of that's what it is. We've heard that old adage of paying it back.
He says to date, the Radiothon has brought in nearly $1 million, and he would love to see the station reach that milestone in the years to come. Thank you for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. When we return, investors are weary for the next week after a rough loss on Wall Street last week as countries around the world respond.
And rain chances are dwindling today. I'll tell you how much more rain you can expect coming up.